Hey guys, it's Clovis, obviously. I'm wearing a different shirt this time, so you may not have recognized it. Well, actually, it's a jumper. You could call it the Red Rose jumper if you want. I mean, that's up to you, but I'm not actually here to talk strictly about Duels of the Roses. I just wanted to give an update on what the fuck is going on, because about a week ago, I wrote a bit of an essay on the community tab, and it was, yeah, you can tell I wasn't a very happy person when I wrote it. I mean, I'm human. I'm just like you guys. Obviously, you guys have seen me in the comments before. If I want to say something about something, I'm gonna do it. Especially without the constraints of, feeling like I need to retain the responsibility of a YouTube channel for the sake of income or anything. Because again, as I love telling you guys every 5 seconds, I don't make money off YouTube, so recently what's been going on is just obviously burnout, and I've done this before, and I know rambling about not wanting to do videos anymore for like the 10th time doesn't mean anything when I'll just come back eventually to doing it. But in all seriousness, this time, like, real life stuff has just changed things a lot more than just me being bored and being like, okay, I'm over it, and then having nothing else to do and then going back to it. Instead, I've actually been making some more active decisions on just changing lifestyle in general. I mean, this doesn't mean not playing games anymore and never playing it. It's not like I'm gonna, toss this out or sell it or anything, because this stuff has more value to me than anyone else who would end up with it, if I have to be honest. So instead of just having another ramble, I thought I would I'd give a bit of an update, just for anyone who cares. I don't know, maybe some of you do. And just in general, communicate with you guys rather than just leaving the channel dead until I figure out what to do with it, because I genuinely don't know what the future holds for the channel. It's definitely not going to stay on Duels of the Roses forever. Like, even if, like, I don't want to, but even if I made more videos of this game at some point, I wouldn't want to stay on it. And it's difficult to change content and then try and backpedal and then juggle. Like, say if I started just making PS2 game videos and then they gain traction, if I upload Duels of the Roses after that, it's like a really shitty window to do everything. So because I just fucking overthink everything, I just always feel like, oh, I need to make this video about this game, or this video, or blah blah blah, and then I got to the 50 tips video, which I concluded at some point with all the YouTube comments, is that it doesn't matter how many videos I do on the game, there's always going to be people that don't know everything, like they won't be able to see everything, because obviously the more content I do upload, the more you'll be alienated from select information, because nobody is going to watch hundreds of videos on the game. Well, some people might, and I won't judge you, but I think a majority of people will not just sit there and watch video after video after video. Only people who are like really love the game, and they probably already know most of the stuff I've said, but they just like content on the game anyway. It's cool when they watch the video. So, yeah, in terms of me kind of realizing that, not everyone is going to end up learning everything, even if I taught everyone everything, like hundreds of hours of content, and just it tells you everything about the game. Like, I could write a manifesto on the game and still not everyone would absorb all the information. So the point of that 50 tip video to celebrate 50 subs, 5,000 subs, was more just to, I guess, tie up loose ends. I'd done so many videos on like strictly this and strictly that, and there was never like answers of simple questions between the videos, because I just kind of assumed everyone knew it. So I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to think of as many tips as possible, round it to a nice number, and then put the video up, so that if just one person, if that's the one video that a new or intermediate player of the game watches, or they just want to get into the game and they have no idea what the fuck they're doing, you can watch that and you will gain information about it without trivializing the game for you entirely. Sip of water. Water is the best. Okay, so anyways, instead of rambling for like 20 minutes, we're going to ramble for 5 minutes. And then the whole point of the video is I'm going to show you the setup and everything that I use to make pretty much all of my videos. And the reason why I'm doing this is actually because I'm changing this setup. I didn't plan on doing this video, but as I was about to pack everything up and set up my new computer and stuff like that, I figured, why not show you guys my perspective. So, why don't we just do it right now? This might be a bit awkward, but I'm going to grab the camera, right? So you're going to see a different angle. You can actually see my room. And then if you look from my perspective, right? Well, this is like sitting on top of my head, and also it's backwards. I need to fix this. I reverse it. This is a weird thing, right? But if you look at yourself in the mirror, you see a reversed version of yourself. You see like a reflection of yourself. So, I'm just trying to find horizontally flip source. There we go. So yeah. So because you're used to seeing yourself, your reflection in the mirror, when you record yourself, you see what everyone else sees, but it's not what you ever see, because if you look at the mirror, the image is flipped. Anyways, you look at this. I'm just going to take this off my head. Look at this shit. Okay, this is a really old laptop. This is like 7 years old. So I'm actually like literally just about to set my new computer up, right? So instead of this, I only use for when I'm actually recording myself, and this software sucks, right? I have no choice but to use this pretty much, because it's like the best way to use this. But what happens is the audio, for some reason, I don't know what the fuck it does this. It splits the audio into 4 channels. So when I click and drag any footage of this, like a recording of this, into, say, Sony Vegas, which is what I use to make videos, then I have to delete 3 audio channels, like, for no reason. Like, they're just 4 audio channels stacked on top of each other. And I haven't been able to figure this out. I don't know. Like, I thought maybe it's trying to record surround sound, but I have no idea what the fuck it's doing. But, point is, what I usually do if I'm making a video and I want it to be really polished is I record in Audacity. So I couldn't be fucked doing this right now. Like, honestly, like, I'll be totally honest with you. I just couldn't be bothered, which is why I didn't do it now. So the audio might sound a bit weird. But I would record this, and there you can see, like, my mic's picking that up. The microphone that I have here, which is the Blue Yeti. It's a really good microphone. But the problem is, if you don't have, like, a good setup, because it's so sensitive, like, it just picks up all the noise of, like, the laptop and shit. Especially because this is just, like, the laptop is just sitting on this trestle table, which is not really well supported. Like, and it just carries all the vibration of this, let alone the fan sound. This picks up freaking everything, man. This thing will pick up your bowel movements. Like, it's actually crazy. This is like the pop filter. It's literally just a folded business work sock with a hair tie around it. Probably doesn't make the biggest difference ever, but it's better than nothing, right? So yeah. Anyways, so this is my perspective, right? Whenever I'm at my computer, this is, fucking, whether I'm on YouTube or laptop or whatever, but this is obviously you in front of your computer, right? And then I turn left, and I've got, you can see me, hello, you can see, obviously, the TV, and the PS2, and all the peripherals and shit I have I have more, but, like, this is just, for example, like, this seems ridiculous, right? This plastic box, it was, this is actually, like, those Q-tips, what Americans call them. I guess we call them ear cleaners outside of America. I don't even know exactly what you call them. I just call them the ear thingies. Anyways, this is one of those, so I didn't actually buy this container strictly for the memory cards. I just had it laying around, and I was like, I have enough memory cards to use for it, so I will. And, it's actually, like, kind of important, right? So I had these 2 memory cards basically to match the white PS2 that I have, with a white controller and everything to make it all look cool. And I didn't sticker them up because I don't want to ruin them. The only way I can tell them apart is, if you can see, one is made in Japan and one is made in China. And that's the only way. So, like, every time I pick up the memory card, I have to look on the back and be like, oh, it's this one, or it's this one. Also, sorry that that's loud because, yeah, the microphone pick everything up. And also, I'm sorry about this. Look at this. This is unacceptable, okay? It's a fungal nail infection, okay? Take care of your fucking hands, man. It's disgusting. PS1 memory card. I don't have any PS1 games, so literally the only reason I have this is if I ever need to demonstrate Deckmaster T. Again, like, if you want to play against Deckmaster T, all you need to do is that, and then you go into the custom duel. Obviously, you'd want your save file here. So say this is your, like, save file, you put it here. If you do this, you duel Deckmaster K against yourself. If you have an empty PS2 memory card, so say this doesn't have a duel, so the Rose's save file, and you stick it here, that's Deckmaster S. If you have a PS1 memory card, that's Deckmaster T. Deckmaster I, you need a pocket station to put in the second slot. You do not need, okay, you do not need Forbidden Memories at all. That's just one of those really old Jewels of the Roses rumors. There's like dozens of those things that are just so bullshit. People would just write whatever the fuck they wanted on Neoseeker in the early 2000s. Fuck, I feel old. Like, that was, that was almost 20 years ago. Holy shit. Anyways, so the reason why I have all of these is actually just for miscellaneous things. This is literally all for Duels of the Roses. And it's not as if I couldn't fit a bunch of Duels of the Roses files on the one memory card. But you can only fit one file of any game. So, for every single PS2 memory card, I can have 3 decks pre-built without having to redo them every time. So for this example, if I'm doing a tournament, I can have 1 deck per memory card, and then I know 1 memory card represents 1 player's deck. So say if it was like Mai versus Joey, and Mai was like the 3rd one and Joey was the 5th, I'd be like, okay, so I need to put in memory cards 3 and 5, and then go into the custom duel, and then I can record that. Currently, I have a completely different use for these, however. I've talked before, like, plenty of times about mod, and I have all the theoretical, or the prototype decks, I guess, stored on these memory cards. For example, this memory card, just number 1, contains the first 3 duels, which is, like, Taya and Tristan and Mai. So I have their deck stored here, and, like, the map saved, because you can save up to 5 maps. And that's just what I use all these memory cards for, and it's really convenient to have all these, because I can just, if I want to duel someone else or demonstrate something else, I can just swap the memory card out. Anyways, I'm going to put this down so I can put this shit away. Also, yeah, you can see my, I ran out of stickers, so I just got, what's her name? Kagome? What the fuck is her name? She's the chick from Inuyasha. I should know this, but this was, I ordered these stickers from AliExpress, and it just gave me a free Kagome one, for whatever reason. It was just Sailor Moon stickers I ordered. Okay, because they were like less than $1, right? You go on AliExpress and you buy all this weird shit, so yeah. I just thought that was kind of funny, so I used that as a memory card. So I'm like, okay, if I save a game, if I like just decide to play Jewels of the Roses one day, I just save it on this, and I'm like, oh, so the Sailor Moon memory card is the one that I use just for a playthrough, or it may or may not contain a save file. So yeah, that's why I have so many memory cards. Hold on. So here we've got, maybe I should actually like set this up with a tripod or something. I mean, I do have one. There you go. Screw this on. Temporarily, maybe. We'll see. It's on an angle. That's not good. That's not good. You know what? That's good enough. Okay, so here we have everyone's favorite game, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels of the Roses. Well, I mean, this game honestly isn't even that good. Like, I would probably rate this like a 5 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 game. But I just see a lot of appeal and potential to it. If this game had like an extra few weeks of release to fix some things about and improve it, it would be like a solid 8 out of 10 game, I'd say. You know, not like the best game ever, but just something that if you liked this sort of gameplay, it would be the greatest game you could play on the PS2. It's just, it's so unique, it's traditional, it's like a tabletop, you know, and that's the best way to have video games, because I just imagine people way back then, when they were playing chess and all these board games, they thought, man, wouldn't it be cool if, like, you know, it was just that, but better, like, with all these cool visual effects, just stuff you couldn't reproduce in real life. But anyways, look, that's a bit of a tangent. First time I ever saw this was when I was 7 years old. I went into a electronics store. This was a bit before Christmas, and I basically, you know what I did as a kid? Because, you know, Yu-Gi-Oh! Played in the morning. You know what I saw? This. 3 limited edition official game cards inside. So of course I had to have it. I says to Mum, can I please have this for Christmas or whatever? I mean, I was a kid, I don't remember exactly what I said. This was literally 16 years ago. Actually, 17 years ago. And, yeah, I saw this, I was like, Mum, I want that one. And then, yeah, sure enough, on Christmas Day, I see a wrapped, like, DVD case, and that's when you know it's a video game. Because Mum would never buy us DVDs, because I never asked for any, I just asked for video games. So, yeah. One of the first games I ever owned, I think the first game I ever actually owned was, that was bought for me was WWF SmackDown, Just Bring It. That was back when the WWE was known as WWF. And then on my 7th birthday, I got Ratchet and Clank and Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4, which very, very, very good games. But for Christmas, at the end of that year, I got this. So the end of 2003, I got this. And, whoa. If you asked me when I was 7 years old that 17 years later, I would be... people around the world would be watching my videos talking about it, I would never, ever have guessed that that would happen. It's pretty strange when you think about it, but it's kind of exactly what's happened, you know? Things just gonna happen, you don't think too hard about it. Anyways, let's actually open this son of a bitch, because I just rambled about this for like 3 minutes for no reason, but I figured, you know, anyone here they're fond of this game, they might like to hear some positive things about it. I open it up, and it has 2 discs. You already know what the other one is. It's the Action Replay Max. Now, I would never, like, actually recommend anyone buy all this shit for any justification other than this shit costs more money than the result is worth, but it's, like, the only efficient way to do this. So, may as well just set this up so you can see it's like a mirror, right? So, alright. So, yeah, what is the solution? For me, always, you know, being in Australia and, you know, like, no one here sells Game Sharks or all this shit. Being a kid where I couldn't ask for certain things, like, if it wasn't approved and you couldn't buy it in, like, a big department store or something, Mum was a bit hesitant about buying it. Because, you know, I'm just a kid. Like, again, this isn't, like, blaming anyone to be like, I wanted everything. But, you know, your mum's not just going to buy everything you ask for. So there was no, I wouldn't even comprehend, you know, even as a kid online looking at all this shit like, you need to enter this Game Shark code or this Action Replay Max code. And I'm like, what the actual fuck are these things? 15 years down the track, I just go on eBay and I source myself some equipment. So you can see I've got my White Slim PS2. There's no disc in it. We'll fix that though. And then this PS2 specifically, what I have to do, I have to push down on this bit, right at the back. This is the disc tray, like the end of the disc tray. Right at the back left of the disc tray, and if I do that, then it will spin. But if I don't, it won't spin, and it won't read, and it won't start. And this is just what happens when you have old technology, right? No PS2 is perfect unless, you know, you were taking perfect care of it from the day you bought it until the end. So anyways, let's actually try starting up the game, I guess. So this is the usual process, right? Say if I want to make a video, I already have something planned. I might have a text document and a bunch of writing, and I can sit here in Audacity and record all of this. Let's make sure the TV is turned down. Yeah, cool. And then I use OBS. The video or the computer might lag the fuck out right here because I shouldn't really be running, like, this computer is so bad. If I started recording or whatever with OBS, it would be terrible. So you got OBS up here. So I'll run through, like, the basic setup, right? So you got the PS2 here. My voice will change because I'll be moving away from the microphone for a second. You've got your PS2, and then at the back, you can see the Elgato down there. I'll show you, I'll get a bit closer to it so you can see everything. So basically, let's just... This is the basics of it, right? I just have a PS2 here with the computer, not the computer, the TV, and the PS2 goes through a capture card that's plugged into the laptop, obviously. It's one of these two. They have the same cable as my Blue Yeti. It's like the PS3 cable, PS3 controller cable. Is it mini USB? I don't know. But yeah, so from the laptop... Right, this is the laptop, the capture card's plugged in. and it's over there behind the TV, just so it's out of view. And behind the TV is the capture card's there, and the other end is plugged into the PS2, and it also plugs into the TV. So here I play doing this, so I don't even need to look at this. This is delayed anyways, if you notice. Yeah, you can see. So what I'll do is I'll minimize this so that there's less going on my TV, because this computer is so bad. It is really bad. Really bad. Okay, anyways. So I can click, you know, start recording. Like, I could probably screen cap this and done this a lot better, but look, I'm trying to make this easy for myself, right? So we can click start recording. This is also where I stream, obviously, and I can stream on YouTube or Twitch. I've done it plenty of times before. Again, like, if you've seen OBS, none of this will be interesting, but I just have a bunch of setups. Well, actually, I'll show you something cool. This might be cool for you guys. You can see the slideshows that I set up. I did this all by hand, so when I'm on stream, I click be right back, or starting soon. And there's also the one I use for YouTube. Oh yeah, thanks for watching. So I just did this through OBS, where I just set up slideshows. You can see they're all just like a folder of images, and they just scroll through at different speeds, and I just set the rate and everything like that. This isn't really that important, but you can just see each thing is basically just a slideshow, as if you opened up a bunch of photos in Windows Photo Viewer. That's alternate art for Thousand Dragon, by the way. It's not in the game, because I didn't make it a 3 in a row, which is a shame. They should have done that. Okay. So anyways, this is where I record stuff, and then I can open up, when this closes off, I can open up something. I open up Vegas. I might not do that because the computer might crash. I swear on my life, like, I only run one program at a time. I can't even run Chrome in the background when I'm doing anything. And this is what makes it so painful. So painful. You record, and then you edit the shit, okay? That's basically it. And then whenever I'm recording with this, like I'm recording myself, hello, I'll record with, as I said before, I'll record with Audacity, and then I'll get rid of the audio that this program recorded and sync it with Audacity. So sometimes it's slightly out of sync. I've got a few comments with that, and it's like, it's so difficult, because like, I know it's fucking annoying and it sucks when the video's out of sync, but like, I genuinely am doing the best that I can with some of this equipment that I've got. Like, you can see the state of this keyboard. Like, it has been abused. This thing, there was like a sticker that I peeled off, and it scratched into it. Like, when I was like trying to scour the sticker because it wouldn't come off, and I didn't want it. So instead of having a sticker here, I have duct tape over it, because there was like a coarse pattern here that like my hand would always graze against, because I freaking like scoured it. So I just put a piece of tape there so I can put my hand there and it's smooth. And yeah, just in general, it's so bad. Like, if I want to run good programs without the computer lagging, I turn the fan on, but then the mic starts picking up like twice the background noise. Yeah, shut up. Okay, so yeah, anyways. So let's say, let's actually, I won't do a video, right? I mean, I can do like a mini one, I guess. I mean, this isn't the best camera angle to do it. Say if I, like, this is what I used to do a lot of the time a while ago. I'll actually just raise this a bit. That might work. Just this angle, man. It's triggering me. Why is it on such an angle? Like, it doesn't matter where I swivel it. I see. Okay, hold on. Bear with me, guys. There we go. Bit nicer. I know this is like not an optimal angle, but like, this is pretty much what I see, right? Because like, when you're looking at a screen, you kind of blot out or ignore everything else. So years ago, okay, this is actually good. This is perfect. This is what I wanted to demonstrate. No PS2 memory copy. You can clearly see there is, right? There's like a weird problem. Shit, now I gotta unscrew this so you can see. This will happen a lot. So what I actually need to do in this situation is, I need to make sure it's pushed into the left, and then I'll try again. But actually, I found something cool about this. You don't need to actually press anything here. I can put the controller down, And, like, this is... I don't know any other game that does this. It's actually fascinating to me. You don't need to touch anything on your controller. This game is still checking if you have a memory card there or not. So if you wiggle it around, you get it right, it'll automatically check. It never does, so what I do, take it out, blow on it like a freaking Super Nintendo or Nintendo 64 cartridge, and then slot it back in, push to the side, and... nothing. There you go, you gotta find the Goldilocks zone. It's so difficult with old technology. Now you guys probably find that funny, but I will say that I deal with shit like this all the time when I'm making videos. So, you know, when I vent out my frustrations about shitty comments or whatever, blah, 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 that's just all on top of just the already frustrating levels of doing videos for this kind of thing. So, let me adjust this shit again. This is why I don't use a tripod. I'm not too mad at the tripod because I just never use it. And I'm sure people don't care at this point how bad the quality is, so... yeah, let's say I'm here and I want to make a video or whatever, like a gameplay video. This is a bad example because this is like a new file. I'll, you know, start on this screen and be like, hey guys, it's Clovis and welcome to my deck. And I go here and I look at all this shit and I'm like, oh, I got this from blah, blah, blah. Or I have 3 of these for this reason. And then I exit it and I'm still talking, and then I just, like, this is just recording on OBS. I showed you OBS before. I literally just need to hit record, and then all this will be captured, my voice and the game audio. You don't hear game audio now because the TV is muted. There you go. Let's turn it up a little bit. Not too loud, but... but yeah, there's so many problems. Like, streaming as well. I have to have the TV muted, otherwise you will hear the audio doubled up. Like, and it's so bad, and my ears are very, very sensitive to that, so if someone points it out, like, I am well aware, and I, like, do my best to mitigate it, but sometimes I do still need to hear the game audio. Like, if I was streaming a speedrun or whatever, like, I want to hear the game audio, so I need to have it up, but then that means people hear doubled audio, so I have it as quiet as possible. And it's just like, god damn, like, it's always so frustrating. There's just some things that you can't win. Like, I can't, unless I spent, like, an unspeakable amount of money that I don't have to renovate this room and purchase all new equipment and everything, there's always going to be a problem with the quality of the sound or video or whatever. It's just really, really difficult. So yeah, I could go into a duel then, blah, blah, blah. But I'm actually going to show you some of the more elaborate videos are a lot more difficult, and that is strictly anything involving Action Replay Max. So let's go through the Action Replay Max experience, why don't we? You guys want to see that, right? So, let's say, okay, this will also happen if you want, say, if I want to do a video that has different music, I need to do this to put in the no music code, so that there's no music in the game, so that in editing or post-editing I can replace the music with whatever audio that I want. And that's what you would have seen in the... what's it called? It was the Dark Duel, the Bakura Duel, and the final boss, that duel. Yes, the music did change if you didn't notice it. It was just the same theme from a different Yu-Gi-Oh game. Anyways, let's say if I want to change the music or whatever, let's say I want to do a custom duel video, because they're my favorites, so I'm going to show you how I do those. First thing you need is Action Replay Max, right? But here's the problem. Because all of the Action Replay Max codes are stored in this, well, all the ones I use are stored in this, because the ones on that suck, I need to make sure this boots with this memory card being red. So, every single time I do a video, I start the console up with the disk tray open, so it doesn't automatically load, so I can check to see if the memory card is actually in or not. There is no data. Good. So, if I had let the disk read and load in, and I thought this was in, it wasn't, and it would have loaded any of my codes, so I would have to reload the whole thing all over again. So this is why I check every time. Probably don't have to blow on it at all. It's just one of those things, you know, growing up doing it with the Super Nintendo and shit. It's a habit at this point. I think it really is about the position of it, and it's probably only unique to my PS2 and the memory cards that I use because they're just wear and tear on the contact points. So yeah, you can see the memory card's in. It's actually reading surprisingly. If it doesn't read, then I do that and push it on the back. That happens every now and then. That's just the capture card being crappy. Reading the disc. I think if you load the Action Replay Max in this screen, you might get a red screen of death. Nope. Cool. Unless you'll get one now. No? Cool. Every now and then I get a red screen of death, but then when I actually wanted to record one on purpose for one of those edgy, weird VHS bad bootleg videos, I wasn't able to get one, so I didn't bother. I couldn't get a red screen on demand, and I didn't want to record someone else's footage and put it over mine because it would have looked weird. But yeah, this is actually really hyper relevant because I use this a lot and this setup a lot. So anytime you look back at an old video that isn't just me recording gameplay for like 10 or 15 minutes, like I'm doing all of this shit. Like seriously. Also, this has some weird hacker music. It's kind of funny. It just reminds me so much of that early 2000s era. People thought music like this and computer hacking and shit was so edgy and so high-tech and advanced and cool. Okay, anyways. So you gotta go in expert mode. I don't know what the fuck they call it, expert mode. But, you know. Of course you gotta wait for the code list to load, which... It's loading the codes that has stored for every single game, like on the PS2 pretty much. But I obviously only want it to load the Yu-Gi-Oh ones, but I have no choice but to let it load all of this shit I don't care about every single time, just so I can put in one code. Like, you could chuck a shit by the time this finished loading. It's ridiculous. Okay. There we go. So, oh yeah, by the way, I will quickly mention, if we didn't double check this, and, like, if we didn't double check this and it wasn't properly reading the memory card, then when we got to this screen, well, it just disappeared on me because, you know, again, technology, guys, bear with me. When it gets to this screen, it will start all the way at the top. And that's when you know you fucked up. And that's like the screen of death. That's just like... The screen may as well just say you fucked up if it starts at the top, because it means it didn't load anything. But because it knows we have custom put in Duels of the Roses codes, it puts us straight at Duels of the Roses, which is like the one good thing I can say about this piece of shit. Okay, so you can add new code, chuck in whatever. I have a whole Action Replay Max code. They're not my codes, actually Generic Mad Scientist made them, but they were tailored for this game especially. There's like a 9 of everything code that's not glitched to fuck. There's a All Monsters to Secretary of Defense, which is not glitched to fuck, so it's excellent. So yeah, here's just some AIs, like you probably won't understand exactly, but I mean, when I have a code that says X and then AI, what that code actually is the white rose plays that character's AI. And the reason why is so that when you go into the custom duel in 2-player mode, the white rose gets played by an AI, whatever one you select. Like, you could just select Deckmaster K if you wanted to, but... you know, let's just demonstrate it using Seto AI, why don't we? Because he's very distinct. He has the one property. You guys all know that one property of his, where he likes to go to his spot. So yeah, you press start, launch game, and then it will say ensure your game disk is inserted, then press OK. You eject this. You don't touch the memory card or anything, you don't want to do that. I'm actually surprised it's spinning on its own without me having to tap that, because I normally always have to. So the game's inserted, we press OK. After the game's loaded, you can take the memory card out. I will put it back in anyway, but... I always just wait for it to get to the menu. Or at least after the splash screen. So... And now what I do, say this is for the custom duel things, right? And like, this is actually a good example because I might improvise or I might not actually be 100% prepared. So say if for what I wanted to do right now, I needed to make a deck for the enemy, then I'll quickly do this. Like I can just turn off the recording and do this and then record again. So I go into build deck. I don't know if I actually would need to edit a deck for this. We'll see. I mean, this is... It doesn't actually matter. I'll just use this deck for the demonstration. It'll just save time. I've already wasted enough time, so... Also, when you play this game that much, the build deck edit screen music does get into your head, like, in a bad way. Like, it's the only song that I've liked less over time. Like, I still like all the music in this game, but that thing, especially with the... It's just like, shut the fuck up, alright? So what I do now, take this out. This is my master memory card. That's why it's got M written on it. It just means don't fuck with it. It has 9 of everything and every monster is SD. But in 2-player mode I can do whatever the fuck I want. So, actually need a second controller. Of course, I got 2 white ones. I actually bought like a bootleg black one from AliExpress to save money, but then when I bought an extra PS2, it came with a white controller. I bought another white PS2 Slim, so I have 2 of them now. So I don't really need this controller for much other than just using it for the custom duel. So, we've got player 1 and player 2 memory card in there, so I got to custom duel. And then this will come up again. So, I just need to like fidget with this until it reads. I don't need to actually press anything. And then immediately after that, it checks the second slot. Like, the way this game checks memory cards is actually done really, really, really well. Like, it's done better than any other game I know, which is stupid because that would have been one guy's work, and he just fucking knew exactly what to do. So I give him a thumbs up. I love how he programmed the memory card check for this game so much. No other game does it like this. They fucked up so much stuff in this game, but they got a mind-blowingly good way of loading memory cards. Okay, so anyways, in the custom duel, you select the deck. So what I would have already done, say I just built this deck and I was like, oh, this is going to be a custom duel video versus a Toon Dragon opponent. So I've made this deck for them and I picked the Seto Kaiba AI for whatever reason. And I can make a deck, I can make a map around that. I maybe should have done that. Maybe could have done that. If I can't find a good one, I could just go out and do one. And the problem with this is I can't really show this to you within this video, but stuff like this requires a lot of trial and error to get things right, to know what will work and what will not work, because there's just a lot of parameters that most people haven't worked with. Like, outside of people who speedrun the game, people don't really know the AI well enough to play against them, let alone do this shit. So, yeah, let's just say we're going to do a generic Toon duel. We'll see if we have any maps we can use. Otherwise, I don't know, I can just use like a Toon one, I guess. I have Seto's AI loaded. So, I might actually try this one, because he probably will move to the same spot. But anyways, you can see we've loaded the game with Seto AI playing the White Rose. So even though on the second controller we use the second controller to select the deck and everything, we don't actually need to do anything after that. We can just put this controller down, we don't need to touch it anymore. So let's just do this map for whatever reason. Again, like when I'm doing videos, maybe like anywhere from like a few minutes to like hours of thought can go into stuff. It depends on how much it's engaging for me. I really like doing this sort of stuff. Like, the custom duels are my favorite, and they're actually like really fulfilling for me as a hobby, even if I don't share them. In saying that, let's just see what actually happens. So we load the custom duel, And instead of it being one player versus two player versing yourself or versing the in-game opponent, you get to face an opponent with the map you selected and the deck you gave them, the deck leader and everything, and the AI you gave them. Unfortunately, because you have to pick one of the existing in-game AIs, it's very restricted, but it's still pretty good, you know. I actually wonder exactly what he'll do. He should play a card in front of him realistically and then move here and then just sit here. But if I, like, block this area, he might play a card to his right and then move around. But, I mean, I guess that doesn't really matter. Let's give him Paralyzing Potion and see what happens. So he moved first. So I don't know, maybe he wanted to play something but couldn't. There you'll see he move forward because this is Seto's AI loaded into the White Rose. I don't know why he's not playing anything, but... This is what I mean, like, you would actually be surprised. Like, if I put a monster here, he might challenge it, but you will actually be surprised at what the enemy is looking for. This guy probably wants to play a card right here, but the game doesn't let him, and the AI isn't smart enough to know he can play a card here or there instead, which normally the AI just does that without even needing to think about it. But this is what I mean when I highlight about how difficult this is, right? I went on this huge 40-long-minute rant about all this, talking about how long it takes to set things up, blah, 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 and the difficulties. But something as simple like this, like after all the effort you put in to get to this point, things can still go wrong, and then you have to exit out. So like I would have to surrender here, and then I would have to take the memory cards out and load this one into the first one, and like look at the deck and change the contents, take them out, put them back in, go back to the custom duel, and I need to do everything while the PS2 is still on, or else if I have to reset the PS2, like if the game freezes or soft locks or reset for whatever reason, I have to restart the thing, put in the action replay, make sure the first memory card is read by the PS2, otherwise I have to do it again, and then load it, put in the code, and yeah, just start it all again. So simple errors or simple mistakes can take like a stupidly long time. So yeah. But, I mean, obviously the point of this wasn't to demonstrate a duel. I just wanted to show you that, you know, the whole point of using, like, the Action Replay Max to use a code like that and, like, a no music code, and then you have this, like, custom duel. A duel that no one's seen before. And, it sucks, you know, because it's, to me, and I think some people, like, the coolest thing about the game, but it's so difficult to get a lot of exposure on that content. The custom duel videos I have were like some of my lower viewed videos. Like some of them, the ones I put like a lot of effort into, have less views than other videos. Not because I don't even think it's because people like them less. Like I think if people actually saw them, they'd think it's pretty cool. But nobody is looking up Yu-Gi-Oh! Duels of the Roses custom duel versus opponent. Like, it's too long a string of words, it will never pick up properly on the algorithm, and even if you do, it'll just show you some custom duel from like 2009 where someone recorded it on their potato machine playing against their friend, and neither of them had any clue how to play the game. But, you know, that's just Duels of the Roses, you know? So yeah. Anyways, this video was like way longer than I expected it to be. I hope you guys actually enjoyed watching it, because it was kind of just me rambling, and that was basically it. So I think I'm just gonna wrap it up here because it's already just gone long enough. So before we shut things off, oh crap. I hate when the tripod does this. Why does it do this? The base won't spin when I'm trying to detach it. That's a bit concerning. I'm not happy, man. I can't do anything about this. What the fuck? Like, there's not enough grip because it's like screwed in. And then when I try and unscrew it, it unscrews a different part of it. Who the fuck designs this shit, you know, man? Like, this is why... This is exactly why I stopped making videos. Nah, I'm just kidding. But, look. Is it gonna focus? No? Like, I can't even... The tripod's still attached, by the way. Anyways, like, this is just problems that come up with making videos, and I know I've gone on, like, real... Wait. Yeah. I know I've gone on real, like, rants and raves, and I'm, like, a hate-filled, anger-filled man, but I'm really not. Instead, it's kind of the opposite, where I never have, like, huge, major issues with things. It's just, like, a lot of little things frustrate me. And then when I no longer have a reason to continue doing something, they're all I think about. They're the only things that are on my mind. It's so easy to forget, you know, the benefits of making a video when I have other interests, because the only main incentive before, like, for making videos was for something to do, really. You know, I still like the game, you know, but the passion for making videos of this game, like, it's dire, like, it's helpless, it feels, and it just ends up always going in a downward spiral of negative emotions, the more, like, frustrating shit I have to deal with. And normally, like, again, it's not like it's the end of the world, but when I get fed up with shit like my old shitty computer, or the PS2 not reading memory cards, or the AI not behaving how I want to, I just think, like, wait a minute, why do I actually care so much, you know what I mean? When there's just all this little shit going on, I'm just like, why am I actually sticking through it and making the video? And it used to be for a purpose, I guess. I don't know, like, it's really pretentious to make this sound philosophical, right? But there was a point in my life where I just thought, alright, well, fuck it, I'm doing absolutely nothing with my life. I can do at least something, even if it's small. And what I decided to do was make YouTube videos of this game. I could have made them about other games, but it means things are a lot more competitive, and just in general, when there's more competition, it's hard to compete. And I know it's a good incentive to work harder, but if someone's really good at something, and I know I'm not going to be as good as them, I just think, fuck it, let that person be good at that thing. I want to try and be good at something else that might, someone, you know, I don't know, maybe there's people on YouTube who always wanted a better content creator than what we've had as far as Duels of the Roses goes, because, you know, as much as we have, like, the Underlord Tico tutorials and everything that blew people away when they came out because no one knew anything back then, by today's standards, a lot of those videos are it's just old information. So again, this isn't a shout at GogGizzy or Underlord Tico. Like, I love these guys, but the videos are just that old and no one's making videos on the game anymore, so I kind of took the responsibility to make videos on a game that I liked, because that benefited me. I figured it would benefit other people who also liked the game. And ultimately, like, especially a couple of years ago, I just had a routine where it was part of my day was making a YouTube video, like having my coffee and making a video and then eating lunch or something like that. And there's been periods of times where there's been a lot of interaction with you guys and myself, and there's been points where I felt like that slipped. And now it's so difficult because I just scratch and tear about what the fuck do I do going forward, because I really can't make videos on this video game forever. But it doesn't mean I can't ever make one again. So now that we're pretty much at the end of the video, and pretty much no one's going to be watching this except, like, die-hard fans, so if you're here now, hello, thank you. Thanks for watching me for 50 minutes, thanks for tolerating me for almost an hour. It's a one-sided conversation, isn't it? Anyways, what was I saying? I'm going insane, guys. Yeah, so the worst case scenario, right, is I just let the channel die, but I've left behind an archive of Duels of the Roses videos. Started raining. Again, like, these aren't perfect, but... And a lot of the content I do is based on information sourced elsewhere, but that information isn't as easy to find as, like, if you just Google search or YouTube searched Destiny Draw Duels of the Roses, and the first video that comes up is my video. It's not about me congratulating myself, it's just, I want this situation to occur where, if anyone around the world wants to know about Destiny Draw in the game, they can Google Destiny Draw and Duels of the Roses, because otherwise it'll give, like, a different result, like, I don't know, Jaden pulling a fucking Wing Kariba or something. If you just Google Destiny Draw Duels of the Roses, that video comes up, you click on it, you watch it, and it has the information you expect. At least. That was my goal with pretty much most of my videos, so every now and then I would remake videos with different titles or redo videos in different contexts so that when if people come across this game and they just want to know more about it, that information is there. Because if it wasn't, then who the fuck else is going to do content on this game anymore? Like, the ship sailed, you know? The ship has definitely sailed with this game. Again, people are still going to play it. Getting comfy. People are still going to play it in the foreseeable future, but... ultimately, you're going to run out of things to talk about if you talk about the game forever. So, while we're here, after 50 minutes, I will just say what I've been thinking. This isn't a... I'm going to or I'm not. You guys know me. I don't always do what I say. I would like to make videos on other games that I like as much as this game. And I don't mean I'm going to make I'm gonna just only upload videos on one game for another 4 years or whatever. I mean, I would like to establish this channel based around me rather than Duels of the Roses and how I review things. I would like to, you know, do... Like, I'm not a fan of these overly long analysis videos. Like, some of them are extremely way too long. But if I have to be real with myself, that's, like, something that I'd probably actually be good at. Because I think way too fucking hard about shit that doesn't matter, and I'm not good at anything else. So I think it would be cool, and how cool would it be if I gained traction doing that, right? With games, like really popular games, like the Ratchet and Clank series, maybe even like Dark Souls, because these are all games I like. And then I come back to this, and their game has more exposure on it. I just think that would be a cool little thing. Or I could make like a good segue from this to the next phase of the channel would be making like a full-on analysis video of this game, because no one else is going to do one, right? I mean, maybe someone would, but I heavily doubt anyone would, and even if they did, no offense, but they probably wouldn't get everything. Like, I know this sounds really dumb and narcissistic, but I know more than most people do in the world about the game. Like, there may be like... There's like less than 10 people that know more about the game than me, and they're speedrunners basically, so... Even then, like, it's not a competition, it's debatable, but you know what I mean, like, none of the guys who are doing speedruns do videos on the game, they just run the game, and they're the people with the knowledge. And like Generic Mad Scientist, he has a lot of knowledge on the game, and he's looked into the game codes and everything, but he doesn't put that information on YouTube, so... This all ties into me creating the YouTube channel and uploading this information, basically, so that it's just in a form that can be easily absorbed by anyone who watches, rather than having to read through a post. They can just watch a video, they get to see some cool effects or the images of the cards, because that always makes you happy. People who are really nostalgic about the game like seeing all that stuff. So yeah. The very last thing I will mention is, and this is why I'm really conflicted with like just stopping straight away, because I still want to do this, it's the mod. Anyone watching at this point probably already knows about it. I'm planning on doing a mod of this game with a friend. And the basis of it, right? Like, don't get too excited and think we're gonna add god cards and shit, because we're not. We're not, okay? We're just gonna make a better version of what exists. So, better duels. You'll be able to get all the cards. Leveling will be a bit faster. Just stuff like that. It'll mostly be quality of life improvements, but also gameplay improvements, because it will be kind of made for diehard Duels of the Roses fan who are over this game, because this game is very, very dead-ended. So I've been very, very enthusiastic and passionate about making this mod, and it would be the ultimate swan song. Like, all the knowledge that I've gathered from what I've played, what I like and what I dislike about the game would manifest into that mod, which I'll be making with someone else. They're going to be doing, like, all the coding and stuff, and they're going to liaise with me on, like, just deck ideas and stuff. But, like, ultimately, that kind of needs to stay with this channel, I feel like, and stay within it. Like, I don't want to make videos about Ratchet and Clank and Gran Turismo and Dark Souls and then come back and make a mod about this. I don't know, it just kind of feels... I guess I could, like, nothing's stopping me, but it just kind of feels weird, you know. And I don't even know what is going to happen by then, so... It's probably why it's not out already, you know. But I did want to clarify that I'm still keen to do that. My friend is also still keen to do that. He's been working on modding tools for the game to make it easier for us to finish it all. And I have, like, all these text documents, like, believe me... I've worked harder on this when I've worked on it than I have, like, any job that I've had. Like, it's kind of like role-playing as a game designer or something. I don't know, it's weird, but a lot of thought goes into it. And you know me, I've just so much stored just things, not just, like, knowledge, but just taste of the game and my perception of the game and what I like about it. And I would love nothing more than to share that with you guys. So... Again, I can't make promises on a deadline. We said from the start of the year we should be done by the end of the year, but we've barely really sunk through into it, apart from me writing some stuff. We haven't done too much, and we would have to playtest everything after we finished all the work before we release it. But it will be obviously an emulator-only thing, unless you're like a really savvy person that you do like the boot me, whatever the fuck it's called. I don't know any of that shit, but when that comes out, I would legit be doing videos on that. I would make a video tutorial on how to set it up and all of this to make sure if someone knows how to play it, they can get that information. I wouldn't be able to source anything, like I couldn't distribute illegal copies of the game, but it's something that I would love people to play, not just for my own gratitude, but for the Duels of the Roses fans, because this is something that I'm basically creating something that I have been dreaming on. And yeah, a diehard Duels of the Roses fan, I think, knows what they like about the game. So me dying for something like this, but because I'm in the creative process and designing and finalizing it, kind of ruins it for me. I won't be able to play it for the first time because I'll know everything that's within it. Seeing other people playing it and enjoying it, or, you know, seeing a challenge or seeing the merit and everything is something that I really look forward to. And I can say "and" every second word if I want, but really, I really would like people to play that when it's out, which means I still have a reason to release it, even if I don't really want to make videos on this game. The reason why I don't want to make videos on the game is because I've got other shit to do, or that I want to do, and I anchor myself by sitting here in front of the computer and just turning to the PS2, turning it on, turning back, watching YouTube, and doing this all the time, and it's too much in my comfort zone, and it's way too easy. So yeah, it's so difficult to wrap things up because I always just want to say more. Like, before I started, I was gonna show you guys all the new stuff, you know, like I'll show you my new computer, my new musical equipment, but at this point, fuck it. I'll just say I bought a new computer and I am going to be setting that up. But I also bought a drum kit, an electronic drum kit, which I'm super excited about. I've been playing it a lot. It's so much fun. And that was a conscious decision. I thought about that a lot of times when I was sitting here and playing Duels of the Roses, where I was just like, I'm at a point of this game where I'm not actually benefiting from playing this anymore, because you've beat every duelist before you even load the game, because you just know the AI like the back of your hand. You know every card the opponent can possibly play in every combination, what they're likely to draw, how they play, or what potential hands they can play after a follow-up hand. Once you know this second hand without having to think about it, the game's just over. Like, you could beat the game with a deck just full of one-star monsters, because you could just fuse them and just hit the enemy twice and just win. You might die a few times doing it, but you could still do it. So at that point, it's like, well, fuck it. I can't be fucked challenging myself with the game, because you're just going to cheese the AI anyways. So I just think, fuck this, I need something that doesn't make me feel like I'm getting nowhere in life. So I picked up drums as a hobby. And yeah, just in general, like, I don't think there's anything wrong with playing video games, but I do play a lot, and for some people that's cool, but for me, I do genuinely feel like I need to get out of the habit of just playing games all the time, and part of this is removing this convenient setup here that I had where I could just easily make Duels of the Roses video. If I get rid of this, it's going to be too much effort for me to fucking plug in my PS2 and all these game consoles, and I'll probably just, touch like the drums or something instead, which is more productive. So this is a conscious decision of mine. Again, all this rambling is actually kind of leading up to this point, because I've wanted to clear this stuff so it's not convenient for me, this whole setup, and I want to put other stuff in the room. I want to fit the electric kit where this TV is. Because of all this, I really just want to get rid of the TV and the console here. In the future, though, I would like to have a setup to record that stuff in a living area, but at the moment, the front living area is not usable. It's just been used for storage and stuff like that. So until then, it's kind of like a stalemate. I don't know if I'll actually be able to have access to a console and TV or anything. I might have to buy like a small TV like this big, just so I can fit it on a new desk when I put it there. I don't know. So this is the thing. I just wanted to communicate with you guys, because I really don't know what's happening. I have no idea what the future is, but I do want to communicate that it's positive. A lot of the burnout has led to these decisions, and I feel like I'm moving forward, which is good. And it's because I feel good that I was actually able to make this video, this hour-long ramble. I don't know. Even if like 5 or 10 people actually enjoyed this video, it was worth uploading. So yeah. Before I ramble on for another 10 minutes, because that's what I always do, I'm just going to say goodbye now. Goodbye. I'm not going away forever, don't worry. You might see me tomorrow or next week or next month. If I have something relevant to talk about, maybe another vlog, who the fuck knows. We will see. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. And I'll see you whenever.